If you are looking for an absolute masterclass in high-stakes corporate tension, luxury penthouse aesthetics, and a pulse-pounding, deeply emotional, forbidden billionaire age gap tactical trajectory, you need to clear your calendar for Elodie Hart. We are stepping directly into the elite, calculation-heavy upper echelons of London high society with Unfurl, a spectacular, high-gear, and beautifully executed series starter that establishes the Alchemy series as an elite, undisputed vanguard in modern billionaire age gap romance. Let's lay out the strategic narrative grid. If you are a fan of stories where a massive, hyper-powerful corporate tycoon must navigate an absolute board of directors war zone while claiming the gorgeous, fiercely independent younger woman who shatters his clinical focus, where a brilliant heroine uses logic and organizational blueprints to insulate her heart from elite social trauma, and where the author utilizes an incandescent forbidden alliances in the city diagnostic routine to test their emotional perimeters, this book is engineered to lock you in. Hart completely dominates the unput-downable billionaire romance dynamic, capturing the heart-racing momentum and sharp, high-frequency biological bond tension popularized by J.T. Geisinger, Katharina Maura, and Danielle Laurie, while treating personal healing, elite corporate dynamics, and raw protective devotion with exquisite care. The narrative tracking grid zeroes in on our alpha hero, a massive, hyper-lethal corporate tycoon who operates under a strict calculation-heavy focus on his global enterprise, using his tactical business tracking record to navigate a brutal industry landscape. His wealth and influence serve as the ultimate close-quarters weapon in the boardroom. His defensive perimeters have been locked down tight for years, his analytical focus entirely consumed by international assets, market logistics, and protecting his corporate vanguard from any external anomalies. The spark ignites when our beautiful, fiercely resilient heroine breaches his local scanning perimeter during a high-stakes turning point in her life. She is a walking survivor, carrying an incredibly complex history and hunting for a secure safety buffer far away from the toxic forces tearing her old world apart. She wasn't part of his logistical business flight plan, but the moment their personal metrics collide within the elite, highly exclusive world of the Alchemy Club, his fiercely protective, possessive instincts engage their deployment tracks, triggering an immediate biological system failure. The tactical parameters explode as the forced proximity reality of their shared social and professional circles turns his private world into a volatile psychological pressure cooker. Our Alpha Titan transforms into a fiercely realistic, entirely pragmatic protector, deploying his immense financial power, elite connections, and unyielding presence to establish an absolute security perimeter around her life. Every late-night conversation over crystal glasses of scotch, every shared moment of quiet vulnerability in an empty boardroom, and every fiercely possessive touch chips away at their respective logical defense mechanisms. What follows is an exceptional high-stakes war of psychological perspective and raw survival. The tracking clock takes a lethal turn when hostile family factions and corporate rivals catch up to them, breaching their active safety perimeter. To survive the overarching social trap and outmaneuver the forces closing in, our grumpy corporate king and his fierce younger partner must unleash an absolute, unyielding defense of the bond they're building together. It is a billionaire romance, age gap drama, forbidden mate suspense, forced proximity contemporary noir masterpiece that treats deep corporate logistics and raw romantic intensity with elite precision. The tension here burns with a sharp calculation-heavy intensity. We are talking about that high-frequency, you are mine and I will buy this city to keep you energy, where a sudden shift in boardroom dynamics, an unexpected encounter behind closed office doors, or a heavy, possessive hand resting on a waist behind a row of private club terminals carries massive structural weight. Hart writes with an exceptionally fresh, vivid, and beautifully blunt voice, perfectly capturing the clinical, cold hum of private jets, the oppressive atmosphere of an elite gala, and the distinct, subtle scent of expensive leather, rich mahogany, and pure, unadulterated passion. What truly elevates this milestone series starter into elite territory is the author's unmatched ability to balance realistic emotional healing alongside breathless romantic heat. Our heroine isn't a fragile asset waiting to be rescued. Her immense psychological grit, razor-sharp wit, and independent drive match the complexity of the corporate world her protector dominates step for step, making her choice to surrender to the bond feel profoundly authentic and deeply gripping. The pacing moves with calculated momentum, tracking intense emotional stalemates and breathtaking physical defensive sequences before ratcheting up to an absolute jaw-dropping final confrontation that delivers total, hard-earned peace to their sector of the city.
Unfurl is the definitive pro-level upgrade your contemporary romance and high-stakes billionaire fiction library demands right now. It is elegant, immensely fast-paced, and utterly unputdownable. It proves that when your entire universe is fractured by family expectations and corporate warfare, the most revolutionary play you can execute is to trust the man who would conquer industries just to keep you safe. So secure your personal reading sanctuary, review your emotional defensive perimeters, open your Kindle, and prepare to cross the line.